Close your eyes. Imagine a moonless night in ancient Greece. A helot slave, one of Sparta's conquered, subhuman underclass, stumbles through the dark, his breath ragged, his hands trembling. He knows the stories. He's heard the whispers. But tonight, the stories are real. Shadows move. Twigs snap. And then, a flash of steel. A boy, no older than 18, emerges from the blackness. His face is painted like a specter. His blade is sharp. His orders are absolute: kill without mercy. Leave no witness. By dawn, the helot's body will hang in the village square, a grisly trophy, and a message. This is the Crypteia, Sparta's secret police. A brotherhood of teenage assassins, forged not in honor, but in blood. Their mission? To terrorize. To dominate. To erase. For centuries, Sparta's legend has been polished into a shining myth of discipline and valor. But behind the bronze shields and battle hymns lies a darker truth, one of child soldiers, state-sanctioned murder, and a chilling blueprint that would echo through history, all the way to the Third Reich. Part 1: The Making of Monsters. Sparta was a city built on a lie. A warrior utopia? A society of equals? Hardly. By 650 BCE, Sparta's entire economy rested on the backs of the helots, an enslaved population outnumbering their Spartan masters 10 to 1. Every Spartan man, woman, and child knew the truth: their glittering civilization was a powder keg. One spark of rebellion, and it would all burn. Enter the Crypteia. Translated as the Hidden Ones, this covert death squad was Sparta's answer to its existential fear. But these weren't battle-hardened generals. They were boys. Spartan males, ripped from their mothers at age 7, subjected to 13 years of brutal training known as the agoge. They were starved. Whipped. Taught to steal, lie, and kill. The Crypteia was their graduation. Each autumn, Sparta's elders handpicked the most ruthless initiates, 18-year-olds deemed worthy, and unleashed them into the wilderness. Armed with daggers and cloaks, they vanished for months. Their assignment? Slaughter helots. Any helot. Strong helots, weak helots, even children. No trials. No questions. Just carnage. Ancient historian Plutarch wrote that the Crypteia's true purpose was to thin the herd of potential rebels. But there was a darker psychology at play. By forcing these boys to butcher unarmed civilians, Sparta wasn't just culling slaves, it was annihilating their own humanity. The Crypteia didn't create soldiers. It created psychopaths. Part 2: Rituals in Blood. The Crypteia operated in shadows, but their rituals were meticulously orchestrated. Before their hunts, initiates underwent the Crypteia's oath, a ceremony so macabre, it defies belief. Deep in the Taygetos mountains, the boys gathered around a fire, their faces smeared with ash. A black-furred goat was dragged forward, its throat slit. They drank its blood. Then, clutching their daggers, they swore allegiance not to Sparta, but to Lycurgus, the semi-mythical lawgiver who institutionalized their suffering. This was no mere tradition. It was a sacrament of savagery. Their hunts were timed to the lunar cycle. On nights when the moon vanished, the Crypteia struck. Helots found dead at dawn bore cryptic marks: a single stab wound through the heart, a lock of hair severed, or a sprig of wild celery, Sparta's symbol of death, clutched in their rigor mortis fists. But the most chilling detail: the Crypteia wanted their victims to see them coming. Boys would infiltrate helot villages by day, disguised as shepherds or traders. They'd memorize names, routines, escape routes. Then, under cover of darkness, they'd return. Some historians argue the psychological warfare was the point. Imagine living every day knowing your butcher might be the boy who sold you bread that morning. Part 3. The Silent War. How many died? Sparta never recorded the numbers. But modern scholars estimate the Crypteia killed thousands of helots annually. Thucydides recounts a single night in 425 BCE when over 2,000 helots vanished, a purge disguised as a military draft. The selected were promised freedom if they fought for Sparta. Instead, they were led to temples, crowned with laurels, and massacred. The Crypteia carried out the executions. Yet not all Crypteia survived their missions. Those who hesitated, who showed mercy, faced a fate worse than death. Disgraced members were said to have disappeared, forced to hang themselves with their own cloaks or cast into chasms as offerings to the gods. Even in failure, they served Sparta's narrative: weakness was a contagion. And contagions must be burned. Part 4. The Nazi Obsession. Now, fast forward 2,300 years. 1938, Heinrich Himmler, architect of the Holocaust, stands in a German forest. Around him, teenage SS recruits, faces lit by torchlight, reenact a Spartan rite. They chant. They swear oaths. They drink blood from ceremonial daggers. This was no coincidence. The Nazis were obsessed with Sparta. Himmler called the Crypteia the first SS, praising their racial purity and ruthless efficiency. He even commissioned archaeologists to excavate Sparta, desperate to prove Aryans descended from these Greek supermen. The irony? The Nazis ignored Sparta's darkest truth. Spartans weren't pure. Their entire society depended on the helots they subjugated. Yet Himmler's fantasies became policy. The Lebensborn program, designed to breed a master race, mirrored Sparta's eugenics. Hitler youth were trained in Spartan tactics, told to embrace suffering as a virtue. Unlike the Crypteia, the SS used terror as governance, turning children into killers. The parallels are no accident. Sparta's ghosts had found new hosts. Conclusion: the echoes of terror. The Crypteia vanished with Sparta's fall, but their legacy is a warning. History remembers Sparta as the ultimate warrior culture. But peel back the propaganda, and you'll find a society rotted from within, a people so paranoid, so addicted to domination, they turned children into blades. The Crypteia weren't heroes. They were victims. Victims of a system that weaponized youth, glorified genocide, and called it duty. So why does this matter? Because the Crypteia's story isn't ancient history. It's a mirror. Whenever societies dehumanize the weak, celebrate blind obedience, or sell violence as virtue, the Crypteia's shadow stirs. In the Nazis' twisted rites. In warlords' child armies. In the rhetoric of hatred that still poisons our world. Sparta's child assassins teach us a grim lesson: the greatest threat to humanity isn't the monster in the dark. It's the monster we create, when we decide some lives are worth less than others. The Crypteia are gone. But they're ghosts. They're always listening. Always waiting. And they never forget. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. Until next time.